Hey everybody, it's Professor Hatch. I am here to talk about the thematic analysis outline. This is the last of these videos I'm recording, and I am so happy I could cry. Not that it's tedious. Well, it's totally tedious, but it's worth it. That's how much I love you guys. That's how much I want you to succeed, is that I'm doing this at 11:20 on a Saturday night. Also, I just want to go to bed though. I've been doing this all day for all my classes. Did you need to know any of that? All right, let's look at the assignment. The thematic analysis outline, and you've already at this point done probably 4 outlines. The first essay we did in class as a group, which was the rhetorical analysis. The first essay you worked on as individuals, which was the race and privilege essay. At this point, this is due when? October 29th. I'm almost certain at this point you will have done the midterm, which again you worked on as a group, and very briefly worked on an outline of some sort. I hope. I certainly asked you to. In any case, so you're familiar with outlines at this point. So this is everything that an outline requires, the stuff that's crossed out and in red, you do not have to do. You don't have to do that for this assignment. All the other stuff you do. Let's real quick. Let's look at the thematic analysis prompt. And the prompt is these questions here, and I'm just going to copy and paste them. You're going to choose one of these themes or another theme entirely, and then you're going to answer these questions as you talk about the theme. All right, I'm going to go back to the outline page. Now let's look at the prompt here, and I'm actually going to paste these down here just so we have them. And apparently they're going to be pasted in a completely different font for reasons I don't understand or particularly care about. How are we going to organize this essay? Well, if you recall from the race and privilege essay, you organized it. You were talking about Baldwin in one paragraph, Ruggiero in another paragraph, and then your own personal experience, where you quoted one of those 2 dudes to help make the point you were trying to make by relating your personal experience. So for this is different. You're talking about coats throughout the whole thing. And the reason I want you to talk about, or the reason I want you to incorporate more than just coats, as you are talking about, let's look real quick one last time at the prompt. Fear. We'll just choose fear. Okay, so now we've identified that theme for this hypothetical example. So let's go back to the Word doc with all this crap here. Intro, thesis statement. Again, not the normal method I use for coming up with thesis statements, but this will work for this essay. In his book, Between the World and Me, author, oh man, spelling this dude's name, Hasi Totes, discusses the theme of fear. I'm going to put a good old-fashioned semicolon right there. I agree with his take on fear, and find his world view to be realistic. Is that a great thesis statement? Not really, but it does 100% of the things it needs to be doing. This should be the title of the book because it's a book. Movies too, by the way, should be italicized without quotation marks. If you were going to write about notes of a native son, that would not be italicized, and you would include quotation marks, because that's how chapter titles and essay titles are formatted. But if it's a book or a movie, then you don't use quotation marks and you italicize. Is that confusing? Of course it is. Does that drive everyone crazy? Obviously it does. Is that the point? Perhaps. I don't know why I'm asking any of these questions. In any case, so there is a thesis statement that is, again, remember, we don't write perfect final drafts the first time around. We write shitty rough drafts. And this isn't even that. This is the outline for the shitty rough draft. So there. Okay, so you have now identified the book we're talking about, which is Between the World and Me, the author who wrote it, Ta-Nehisi Coates, the theme you are going to be addressing, which is fear, and you've also stated that you agree with his take on fear, and you find his worldview to be realistic. Awesome. So let's go back down to these questions down here at the bottom. How does Coates reinforce the idea of this theme in his text? Just because I'm like borderline OCD, I'm just going to change this all to the same font. So how does Coates reinforce the idea of this theme in his text? I'm just literally going to copy that. And I'm going to label body one. So there. How does Coates reinforce the idea of this theme in his text? That is now what we are going to be discussing in this body paragraph. Do you agree or disagree with his take on your chosen theme? Why? So this is what we are going to be discussing in body paragraph number 2. And then body paragraph 3 obviously is going to be, would you describe his worldview as cynical or realistic? Why? Whoa. What the infinite fuck happened there? Give me 1 second. I'm literally going to paste this into a notepad and that'll remove any weird formatting. All right, and yeah, I just dropped an F-bomb on a essay video. I'm edgy. Anyway, so these are the 3 things we're doing with each of these body paragraphs. It's only a 1,000-word essay. This will be plenty to write about. This will get you to the 1,000-word minimum. I am not going to tell you, obviously you're going to be quoting Coates in at least 2 of these paragraphs, maybe all 3. I want to show you real quick. I'll use body paragraph 2 to do this. If you wanted to quote from Coates in all 3 paragraphs, but then also quote from, say, Notes of a Native Son, talking about fear, by James Baldwin, then this is the formula you would use to do that. Obviously, this is what a body paragraph looks like when you're quoting 1 source per paragraph. But so you've got your topic sentence, your context, your evidence, your quote, your evidence, which is your quote, your analysis, and then context, evidence slash quote, analysis, and then you go into your transition. So for the evidence slash quote, Coates, and for the other evidence slash quote, Baldwin, or whoever you're choosing. Maybe it's Michelle Alexander from New Jim Crow, or maybe it's you're quoting from the documentary 13th, in which case the last name of the director of that movie is DuVernay. Ava DuVernay is the name of the director. Maybe you're quoting from Ruggiero. You get the idea. Just to, or whoever, just to drive that home. Anyway, that's how you would quote from 2 different sources in the same paragraph. Remember, your analysis always needs to be a minimum of 3 sentences explaining how and why the chosen quote supports the topic sentence. So, but you're not doing that for the for this particular outline. But if you did want to quote from two different people for this paragraph for the outline, this is how you would outline it. And then of course you just turn that into once the outline is filled out, you just turn it into a paragraph, which I know you know how to do because you've totally watched all of those videos on the structured writing from an outline page, right? Of course you have. Months ago at this point. So anyway, yeah. Is there anything else that really needs to be discussed here? I don't think so. We don't really need to discuss any of the book because we'll have done that in class at some point by now. So I think we can just call this quits for this video. For the last time, I just want to stress that you can text me at any point of the day or night, 3 a.m., 3 p.m., it does not matter. Remind does not chirp at me ever. So if you text me at 3 a.m. and I'm asleep, you aren't going to be waking me up. And I will get back to you as soon as I can with an answer for your question. Sound good? I agree. I think it does too. All right. I am tired now and I'm going to go to bed. And I hope if you're watching this at 3 a.m., you do the same very soon. I will talk to you in class.